Hello everyone, I am Tristan Tobin in the broadcast booth calling the action to kick off 2025 year, and downstairs right behind me in the pit lane and far end of the racetrack right there is Fred Speed. If you haven't noticed, we made an unofficial announcement late in 2024 that qualifying will be shown on our Instagram page. If you haven't checked out qualifying highlights on NHRASMDRS, please page, please follow us on in the YouTube bio. We are here to bring you coverage of the second annual Philly CheeseSteak Nationals at Philadelphia Raceway Park, here in all three categories. But we kick it all off, as always, with Top Fuel. Top Fuel has been all about crazy upsets during qualifying so far for the reigning champion Tony Schumacher, which he's gone off to a killer but terrible start this weekend by qualifying his car in 9th place so far. But the biggest shock for the pole sitter is Scott Coletta. Yes, Scott Coletta, which we did not see coming, who had a terrible season last year with him and his cousin Doug Coletta. As we'll also bring you right now with the ladder, with the newly formally updated ladder of Top Fuel. And before we go to the ladder, here's a look at some new things and some new rule changes for the 2025 season, folks. First of all, centerline blocks, which is new for the 2025 year and for the NHRA Stop Motion Drag Racing Series, will be in use at every racetrack we go to. The centerline blocks will be shown as a negative 3-point penalty, not times. And secondly, hitting the wall, negative 2-point penalty, which will be also declared as. If you hit the wall, that'll be a negative 2-point penalty. And also, lastly, red lights will be shown as a negative 1-point penalty, which is lesser than the two evils. So, anyway, be on the alert for that, folks, and drivers all around. Plus, this will be contained in all three categories as well, 3 pro categories as well. Next up will be lane choice. Will be in use for only the last 3 playoffs races, Nevada, Detroit 2, and Delaware. For this season, which means lane choice will not be in the regular season. It will be only added for the 3 playoff races. And lastly, points for qualifying. Points for top 6 qualified cars will be awarded only in qualifying. So basically, if you're in the top 6, then you're basically in the getting 6 points as first, 5 points in second, so on. And now it's time to head over to the step ladder for the Top Fuel cars. Here's a look at the Top Fuel ladder for the Philadelphia CheeseSteak Nationals, as Scott Coletta will be on the pole for the first time in his career, and he'll match up against Eddie Hill, who was slower in qualifying. I think he ran a 150 something pass. He was in the 150s, but not really bright enough to probably try and take out Scott Coletta. But anyways, the first pair you will be seeing on the line, which we'll get to in a second, Ashley Force and Bob Vandergriff Jr., a rematch of the semifinals here last year, where Bob Vandergriff took out Ashley Force to go for his first ever Wally. That he ran to just 1 year ago at this venue. But can Ashley Force, I mean, she's the higher qualified car. Can she take out Bob Vandergriff? We'll find out. And then you got Leah Pruitt, Corey McClellan, Gary Selzy, Austin Brock, Clay Millican, Doug Coletta, another Coletta team car in the number 10 spot, looking for a little something out of looking for something added between him and Scott Coletta. Then finally, David Baca Jr. and Tony Schumacher, the reigning champion from 2024, looking for a little piece of added history, another world title. Could he get it? We'll find out. 6 races, a long season. So anyway, it's time to begin the burnouts and get the first pair underway. And here comes Bob Vandergriff Jr. to start off the first pair and first season of Top Fuel. And alongside of him will be Ashley Force. And while we got a moment, let's take a look at the temperature track facts. Air temperature 44 degrees and track temperature at 91 degrees, which is very high for a low humidity air temperature. Then we have water grains of 137 and density altitude 1,205 feet, which is going to be, we're probably going to see a lot of tire smoke, not in this round, but in the second round, I believe, and second and third round of the day. But anyway, and when we get to the finals of all 3 categories. But coming up now is Bob Vandergriff Jr. in the right lane, Ashley Force left lane, because these two have met up before, once here and another back in Delaware, I believe. So this is their second meeting, so here we go. Oh, tire smoke for Bob. The defending event champion is out as Ashley Force moves on. Next up is Austin Crock and Gary Selby. Number 5, number 8 qualifiers. Here we go. Gary Selby getting the job done. As coming up now is Tony Schumacher and David Baca Jr. Number 4, number 9 qualifiers. Can the number 9 qualifier dump number 4? We'll see. Oh, he crosses the center line! And number 9 qualifier does dump the number 4 qualifier. Could the number 10 qualifier get some luck out of him? We'll see. As it's Doug Coletta and Clay Milligan. Clay Milligan's the higher seeded qualifier. Let's see what he can do against Dougie. Oh, he goes up and smoke it. It's a close finish. I don't know who to call it. They're calling Clay Milligan, but let's check out on the replay, the Speed Channel Instant Replay. Let's see. You can see Doug getting up in smoke. Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Clay Milligan gets the round win. He does get it by a little bit of sliver of a margin. As coming up now is Leah Pruitt, the number 2 qualifier, going against the number 11 qualifier, Corey McClanahan. All right, let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, Leah Pruitt getting the job done for Don Schumacher Racing. As it coming up now is the number 1 qualifier, Scott Coletta, and number 12 qualifier, Eddie Hill, who suffered that major crash from Delaware last year. Let's see if he can get the job done. Oh, Scott Coletta gets the round win. The lone hope for the Coletta team. As let's take a look at the top fuel ladder. Scott Coletta, Ashley Force moves on. Leah Pruitt and Gary Selby move on. And Clay Milligan and the number 9 qualifier, Tony Schumacher, who dumped David Baca Jr. in the number 4 as the number 4 qualifier, is out. And coming up now will be a funny car. But first, let's get to the storylines and take a look at the newly updated ladder in funny car. And since we got a moment or two before the first pair of funny car gets to launch first in round 1. But first, we got storylines for you about funny car. Firstly, we had 20 funny cars on the property this weekend here in Philadelphia, which for 2 rounds of qualifying, and only 8 cars were sent home. And here's the 8 who did not make the field of 12. Gary Densham is 1. John Force, the 2-time champion Frank Pedgregon Jr., the 2024 champ from last year, Jerry Tolliver, Tony Pedgregon, Matt Hagan, Jack Wyatt, and lastly Tim Wilkerson to round out the top 8 cars. The 8 cars that's suffering their first DNQs of the 2025 season, which was a bigger shock to hear right out of the gate. But who did get in to create drama and panic attacks, which was Robert Hight, who scored a ET elapsed time season record on this track, the only car to run in the 120s, and he scored a 1.27 second elapsed time, as everyone that qualified around him was running in the 130s. So keep your eyes open on the AAA Camaro, as already the engines are being fired. And let's go trackside to see the first pair. But first, let's get to the ladders, the newly updated ladder, to see what's going on there. And here's a look at the funny car ladder for the Philadelphia CheeseSteak Nationals funny car session. Robert Hight, like we talked about, is your number 1 qualifier. He'll take on Bob Gilbertson, who laid down a 139 pass. Then in this but the first matchup we're going to see on the track before we get to the Robert Hight, which will be the 3rd pair out, is Ron Capps and Dean Scusa. Ron has had somewhat success here at this racetrack, but still looking for that first round win. Still looking for a solid effort, unlike what he had last year, of course, with the Copenhagen car and the Brute car. And this is his new car for this season. So basically, this is a debut, making a cameo appearance with the Brute team. But Dean Scusa's got a brand new car as well, and made his debut in the Delaware East Coast Nationals last year. And the winner of that will take on either Cruz Pedgregon or Kenny Bernstein. Kenny Bernstein won the Delaware East Coast Nationals as the event winner, but not the champion last year. He's looking to have some great success here this year. But that'll be the I believe that's going to be the 4th pair coming out. And then how about this? Tom Hoover. Tom Hoover is the number 8 qualifier, and you'll probably see the R there, which you do probably see. The R there represents the rookie, him being a rookie this weekend, and then he'll take on Stephen Densham, who crashed here just 1 year ago at the same venue, but he's looking to rebound from that and have a great weekend here in Philadelphia Raceway Park. And how about this? 2 women of the class going against each other as the 6th and last pair going out. Alexis DeJoria and Ashley Force. Ashley Force is going double duty this weekend. Same with Gary Selzy. But they're both looking to have a great solid weekend by scoring their first win in both categories. We'll find out to see if that will happen, as the first pair is about ready to come onto the track. Coming up now is Ron Capps and Dean Scusa. The first pair about ready to commence. Here we go. Number 3, number 10 qualifiers about ready to send it. Ron Capps is the winner. Something happened with Dean Scusa at the far end of the racetrack, and here comes Gary Selzy and Dale Creasy Jr. Number 2 and number 11 qualifiers. Red light! Red light for Gary Selzy, and it's over. Dale Creasy wins on a red light by Gary Selzy. Next up is Robert Hight and Bob Gilbertson. And we'll have to talk with Dale Creasy Jr. in just a few minutes after this match. Here we go. Oh, he's getting around him as Robert Hight does take the win. As this is an earlier interview footage, like we talked about earlier, interview footage as Fred Speed is standing by with Dale Creasy Jr. from that first round win of his career. Fred, I'm down here with Dale Creasy Jr. is so elated about getting that first round win. He thought he could jump out of the car thinking he'd lose, but apparently he didn't. Dale, what does it mean to get your first career round win? Oh, it means everything. I'm telling you, this Hershey's Funny Car Chevy Monte Carlo has been amazing. I just want to thank Hershey's, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Sarah, my wife. Good job. Thanks, Fred. As we'll now take a look at the temperature track facts before Cruz, Pedgregon, and Kenny Bernstein come up to the line. Air temperature 56 degrees as 107 degrees. Big change there with the track temperature, and then 85 degrees, 85 water grains, and then 1,590 feet with the density altitude. That is, we're probably going to see a lot of pedal fests in the next round. You watch when the track temperatures go up like that. And here comes Cruz, Pedgregon, and Kenny Bernstein. Kenny Bernstein was the Delaware East Coast Nationals event winner. Let's see if he could try to take out Cruz in the first round. Not going to happen. Cruz, Pedgregon advances. And coming up now is Stephen Dencham and Tom Hoover. Stephen Dencham was the runner-up at Delaware last year. Let's see if we can do it again. Try to advance in the first round. Here we go. Stephen Dencham does it as he's the round one winner after suffering that major crash he had just 1 year ago. Up next is Ashley Force and Alexis DeJoria. Number 6 qualifiers. Here we go. Red light for Alexis DeJoria, and she crossed the center line. That's a negative 4-point penalty as Ashley Force moves on. And let's take a look at the funny car ladder as Robert Height, who took out Bob Gilbertson, advances. Ashley Force, who got a lucky break, but seeing DeJoria cross the center line and red light with a negative 4-point penalty, advances. Dale Creasy Jr. and Stephen Dencham advance. Ron Capps and Cruz, Pedgregon advance. As it's now time for the factory hot rods, which aka means pro stock. You know what's behind me? That's right. It's time for the factory hot rods to hit the track. And boy, we got storylines up for all of you. Firstly, we have to talk about is matchups between two champions, rivals, and buddies, IRL. That's right. Greg Anderson, coming off his second world championship of 2024 in the stop motion ranks, is huge. But here's the bad news. In the first round, he's got to face the defending event winner of this event from 1 year ago is Jeg Coughlin Jr. We'll talk more about him, about these two guys matching up in just a second when we go to the ladders. And secondly, last, we have is rookie debuter performances. Yes, 3 rookies that are being welcomed in the NHRASMDRS. So anyway, let's get to the ladders because I am so thrilled for Pro Stock. And here's a look at the Pro Stock ladder before we kick off round number 1 of Pro Stock, the factory hot rods. I just want to say that basically this ain't the first time we've ever heard of Greg Anderson and Jeg Coughlin Jr. run up against each other, but this is probably the first time for us, for all of us here at the NHRA Stop Motion Drag Racing Series. That's the first time we've ever had these two match up in the first round, and the first pair as the number 6 and 7 qualifiers. So apparently, folks, you're in for a real good treat today. Now, basically, we wouldn't do this, but apparently if Greg loses this race, he would, since he's got that 1 point advantage, he would get 2 points. Not just for losing the race, but apparently he would just get automatically 2 points for the bonus point he got in qualifying and the point that he gets, and the other point that he gets for losing the race. But the difference in that versus Jeg Coughlin losing is the fact that Jeg Coughlin, if he loses, he would just get 1 point, and that spells trouble for Greg. So anyway, so he would be stuck in 12th place. These two would be stuck in 12th place, I should say. But anyway, and the winner of this pair would go up against either Kurt Johnson or Bruce Allen, which is going to be a fun matchup. And then you got for the next matchup would be either Jim Yates or Tanner Gray going up against either in that matchup in the round 2 would be either Warren Johnson or Alex Laughlin. Then Shane Gray, Bo Butner, Larry Morgan, and V Gaines. The 3 rookies have made their way in. The two of those rookies, Shane Gray and Bo Butner, are going to take on each other, and then you got V Gaines taking on Larry Morgan in the first round of competition. So basically, that's going to spell a fun matchup, and I think if I had to place a bet on this whole thing, it wouldn't be Jeggy. No, it wouldn't be Jeggy, but apparently, if I had to place a bet, it would be going to either Greg or Warren WJ or GA. Greg Anderson or Warren Johnson. I don't see Kurt Johnson win this race. I don't think so, but hey, you never know with the number 1, because he is the number 1 qualifier for this weekend, folks. So if you want to place your bets in the comments below, please do so. Or else because I'm not intelligent, nor a racing driver. Well, I am a racing driver, but I'm not that intelligent. But anyway, it's time for the factory hot rods to get underway. And here comes Jeg Coughlin Jr. and Greg Anderson to perform the burnouts. They go off the line. Greg Anderson's got the defending event champion as he takes him out early. As coming up now is Jim Yates and Tanner Gray. Jim Yates was the number 5 qualifier, and Tanner Gray is the number 8 qualifier. Tanner Gray takes out Jim Yates as Jim Yates, something happened to him in the line, as Jim Yates did broke mid-track. Coming up now is Larry Morgan and Vincent Nobile, my man. Excuse me. V Gaines, the number 9 qualifier, and number 4 qualifier, Larry Morgan. Larry Morgan takes the win in a close margin. Now comes the 2 rookies. That was your first rookie. Now these are the last 2 rookies. We have Shane Gray and Bo Butner. Shane Gray looking to win here and to take on his son, and he did. He did just that. Warren Johnson, the professor, taking on Alex Laughlin in the Hot Wheels Camaro. Light flashes green, here we go. Wow, Warren Johnson getting the job done. That's his first ever competitive round win in his career. Next up now is the last pair, Kurt Johnson and Bruce Allen. Kurt Johnson He's got the edge on him. Kurt Johnson wins round 1, as we'll take a look at the track crews and the sweepers coming on the racetrack now, as it's time to go to the ladder. As here's the look of the ladder as Kurt Johnson advanced, Greg Anderson advanced, Warren Johnson, the number 2 qualifier, advances. Tanner Gray, the number 8 qualifier that when Jim Yates broke at the line, advances. Shane Gray and Larry Morgan advance. As it's time now to bring the nitro categories back up to the line, it's time to take a look at Top Fuel. And we welcome you back to to the NHRA Philly CheeseSteak Nationals, ladies and gentlemen. And we are about set and ready for round number 2. As it's time now to bring out the monsters. It is time for Top Fuel action. As we got Scott Kalita and Ashley Force. As we take a look at the ladders right now for Top Fuel. First off, we're going to kick it all off in just a second here with Leah Pruitt and Gary Selsey, the number 2 and number 5 qualifiers. And then we have, coming up next, is Scott Kalita, the number 1 qualifier, taking on the number 6 qualifier, Ashley Force. Ashley has been perfect on the tree since she took out Bob Vandergriff Jr. on a tire smoking pass. And then the last pair is Clay Milligan and Tony Schumacher. And folks, I hate to bet go do some betting, but if you want to bet on these top 6 dragster drivers, go bet in the comments below to pick out your favorite driver. I should have said this in the beginning, but pick out your favorite driver, any driver to win this race, because it is going to be a barn burner. Are you guys ready? Let's get to the track and see. And here comes the monsters of Gary Selsey and Leah Pruitt. Top Fuel starting now. The number 2 and number 5 qualifiers, both ready to get after it. Here we go. Oh, it's a pedal fest! Who's going to win it? It's going to be Gary Selsey winning it. Up next is the battle for the by-run round. We have Scott Kalita and Ashley Force. Number 1, number 6 qualifiers. Here we go. Side by side, Ashley's up in smoke as it's going to be Scott Kalita going to the next round. Up next is Clay Milligan and Tony Schumacher. Schumi might have the advantage, but I don't know where the odds makers are going to be on that one. As it's going to be the number 3, number 9 qualifiers going to get after it. Here we go. Side by side, it's going to be Clay Milligan getting the job done. Clay Milligan will move on as we take a look at the ladders here. You see Scott Kalita go up, go into the by-run round. He will automatically advance, and then if he does a red light or DQs himself, then we got Gary Selsey against Clay Milligan. There you took a look at Top Fuel. Now let's move on to Funny Car. Here's a look at Funny Car up next, which is up next, by the way. Robert Hyde, Ashley Force will be the first pair out. Then the second pair will consist of Ron Capps and Cruz Pedgregon. Then the third pair is Dale Creasy Jr. and Steven Densham. John Force teammates against Don Schumacher, Pedgregon, Creasy, and Densham Motorsports. And now it's time to look at Funny Car as we head downstairs trackside. And here comes Ashley Force and Robert Hyde to do the burnouts. First pair of round 2 Funny Car. They're ready. They're set. Looks like Robert Hyde will take the win easily. Robert Hyde will decline Ashley Force from moving on. As coming up now is Cruz Pedgregon and Ron Capps. Number 4 and number 3 qualifiers Let's see. My bets are on Cruz on this pair. Oh, and he's up in smoke. There goes my pick as Ron Capps takes the win easily. And now, while we got a moment, let's go to our new segment for everybody. We have for the new segment is MPH Fuel Tractionary. For this week, it's Burnout. A practice where the rear tires of a vehicle are spun, usually while keeping the car stationary, causing friction and heat, which results in the tires smoking. And then coming up to the line will be Steven Dencham and the Bad Bird Pontiac, taking on the Chevy Monte Carlo of the Hershey's Chevy Monte Carlo of Dale Creasy Jr. And they're going to perform a burnout, which we're all going to expect in just a few seconds. It looks like they're developing some sort of clutch in the funny car, which is and by the way, folks, these things do have a clutch in the funny car, which you have to pull the shifter for. And there's a proper burnout. Number 11 and number 5 qualifiers. Here we go. Oh, and Steven Dencham takes the win. Boy, I thought Dale Creasy was going to come from behind, but didn't happen. Here's a look at the ladder. Robert Hight advances to the by-run round, as it's going to be so he'll advance after taking out his teammate Ashley Force. Then we got Steven Dencham taking on Ron Capps. Schumacher versus Dencham Racing. That is going to be a knife edge killer right there, boys. As coming up to the line will be none other than Pro Stock. As the sweepers track dryers are out, and the track sweepers are out, and to sweep up the track, as apparently it's time now for the factory hot rods to come to the track, as they're hard at work here at this facility. It's a very nice facility, actually, here in Philadelphia Raceway Park. Here's a look at the ladders, as it'll be Kurt Johnson and Greg Anderson. That'll be the last pair coming out. The first pair we're going to see is Shane Gray and Larry Morgan coming up to the line. Shane Gray with a better advantage over Larry, the 2023 Delaware East Coast National Series champion. And the second pair will be Warren Johnson and Tanner Gray. And on the line right now is the factory hot rods. Shane Gray and Larry Morgan to perform the burnouts for round number 2. 3 and 4 qualifiers going after it. It's a very close finish as Larry Morgan pulls it out. Up next is the battle that we just talked about was Warren Johnson and Tanner Gray. Tanner Gray on the left, Warren Johnson, the professor, on the right. Oh, Tanner Gray broke at the line, as it's going to be Warren Johnson taking the win. Yeah, something broke on the starting line with Tanner Gray's car. As coming up now is Greg Anderson and Kurt Johnson, the number 1 qualifier. The battle for the by-run round. Here we go. By-run battle. Here we go. Red light for Kurt Johnson. It's over. And it's going to be Greg Anderson taking the win line. The number 6 qualifier survives. As the track crews clean up, oh my goodness, we are so shocked that Kurt Johnson's out of here already in round number 2. Round number 2. I can't believe this. This is the first time we've ever had no number 1 qualifier make it out of round 2. This is amazing. This is just incredible. Incredible. It's probably been since when Ashley Force didn't make it out of round 2 in Delaware in 2023. I think so. But anyway, let's take a look at the pro stock ladders as the track crew is working hard out there. As we got Greg Anderson going to the that made it to the bye-run round, and then Warren Johnson and Larry Morgan will take on each other in for as a pairing for the finals. And up next will be Top Fuel. Top Fuel should be very huge because not only that, we're gonna have three. We already have a event winner, but we're gonna have two first-time winners here on the channel, as far as we know. And there it is, Top Fuel: Scott Coletta, Gary Selzy, Clay Millican. This is who's gonna get the nod here, as they are. I see Top Fuel cars coming over me, as we're about ready to send her down trackside. And here comes Top Fuel: Gary Selby, Clay Millican, burnout commence. Round 3 of the semifinals, with number 3 and number 5 qualified Gary Selby. Starting line there goes to Clay. And at the finish line stripe, it will be Clay Millican getting the job done in round 3. As now it's time for the bye-run round, as it's Scott Coletta commencing the burnout. Left lane Coletta, number 1 qualifier. Here we go. Oh, it looks like he's got lost some cylinders, as apparently he's still going to take the win. And here's a look at who moved on to the finals after round 3. Round 4 finals will conclude as Scott Coletta and Clay Millican. Clay Millican has been in this position before, looking for a second career win to become the first Top Fuel driver with 2 wins in a row on the Northeast coast. And now it's time for Funny Car. And here's a look at the Funny Car ladder, as it's time now for Robert Height, Stephen Dencham, and Ron Capps going to the semifinals here. We're going to kick things off, I think, with Stephen Dencham and Ron Capps in just a few minutes. But right now, Stephen Dencham looking for his first final here. His second career final. The last time it was in the finals was as a runner-up. So apparently, he's looking for a big chance here today to defeat Ron Capps and take out Robert Height in the finals, hopefully. So let's get him on the track right now. Stephen Dencham, Ron Capps, left and right. Here we go. Oh, Ron Capps was a cylinder out as Stephen Dencham gets the win. And he will move on to the finals as he will face Robert Height if he can advance. He's in the right lane, so for the bye-run round. Here we go. All he's got to do is make it down without any issues. And he does make it down there, as it's a round 3 win for Robert Height. Robert Height gets into the finals easily, and he will take on Stephen Dencham for his second career final. But first, here in Philadelphia, after that wild, insane accident he had just 1 year ago, and this will be Robert Height's third final since his first win came at 2017 at Indy Dragway. We'll explain more about that when we get to the finals of Funny Car. Coming up now is Pro Stock. As it's time now for Pro Stock, as the track crew are hard at work here at Philadelphia Raceway Park. As it's time now to look at the ladders for the Pro Stock semifinals, as we are one step closer for ending the day here at Philadelphia Raceway Park. And there you go. The ladders are set as Warren Johnson and Larry Morgan will become the second pair coming out. And we are getting word that it's going to be Greg Anderson going to take the Byron round first. And then Warren Johnson and Larry Morgan will have their turn to go out on the track. I mean, we have two champions and one IRL champion. Here we go. Greg Anderson on the Byron round. He took the left lane, so here we go. Let's see if it works. Oh, he shuts it off, as apparently it's going to be a Byron win for Greg Anderson. Larry Morgan left. Warren Johnson, WJ, the professor. On the right. And we're getting a report from Fred Speed that Warren Johnson might have an advantage here. We'll see. And they're off. Larry Morgan with an advantage. But look at that WJ horsepower. WJ gets the win. WJ will go to his fifth consecutive fight. And Greg Anderson, Warren Johnson will match up again. And apparently it will be in the finals for the third time in their career. And that concludes Pro Stock, as it's time now to get all three categories in the finals, the finalists together. But first, let's when we come back from this commercial break, we'll go to the finals. Hey guys, my name is Tristan, and this is not your regularly scheduled video, but apparently if you are a fan of the NHRA stop motion drag racing series, please check out our event schedule for the Pro Series for the 2025 season. First, before we get to the finals of all three categories of this regularly scheduled video, please take note on our next race, which will be held at all 6 of these events. First up, we have that we are in right now is the Philly CheeseSteak Nationals, Philadelphia Raceway Park. The second race, the next stop of the NHRA and SMDRS schedule is the second annual Ford 4Y Nationals at Ford Dragway in Detroit, Michigan. And then the third race will be at Forest Green Nationals at Forest Green Raceway up in Seattle. And then, for the playoff system, we're going to be going to our fourth race, which is the Eric Medlin Nationals, an emotional but celebratory event for John Force Racing. And apparently it's going to be featuring something a little bit special for our fans at Nevada Speed Strip out in Las Vegas, Nevada. And no, it's not the strip that we're used to. It's a Nevada Speed Strip. And in the fifth race of the playoffs will be the Blue Oval Nationals at Ford Dragway again. But this time we're going side by side and not 4 wide. And finally, for the sixth race of the season, we'll be at our fourth annual Delaware East Coast Nationals for the TR2000 Dragway. Get your tickets and make sure to head on out to Ford Dragway. We want to see you there. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. And we welcome you back to the Philly CheeseSteak Nationals. Time for the money rounds here in the Pro Stock ranks, as we take a look at the ladders again here after the after we just witnessed from the Pro Stock fields in the semifinals. Now it's time for the finals here in all three categories. First up is Pro Stock, and apparently it's going to be a really big chase-em event because we have two rivals chasing each other down, Greg Anderson and Warren Johnson. Greg Anderson and Warren Johnson have, now get a kick out of this, folks. Greg Anderson and Warren Johnson have met 5 different times over their career, and it's basic enough. This is their 6th this is their fifth meeting this is going to be their fifth meeting and their third ever final in history, no matter what. Greg Anderson has owned is 5-0 against Warren Johnson. And apparently in either round 1 or round 2 or in the finals. That's the only times they meet. Never in round 3. But obviously, can Warren Johnson create a big shocking upset? I mean, the professor, he's still got it. Plus, you can't deny the two-time reigning champion, defending and reigning champion of Greg Anderson in that Summit Racing Equipment Pontiac power car. And then you got Warren Johnson, the Performance Parts Pontiac. 2 Pontiacs in the finals, folks. Who's it going to be? Vote your favorite in the comments below. Do whatever before this race gets started. Are you ready? Let's see them in action. And here comes the money round, folks. Let's see if we'll get a first-time national event winner or a champion winner. Warren Johnson and Greg Anderson, 5th meeting, final pair of the day. Here we go. And we got to burn down already. We got a staging crew. And there they go. Advantage goes to Greg. And here comes Warren Johnson. Warren Johnson will win the Philly CheeseSteak Nationals. Congratulations to the Warren Johnson's Performance Parts team, as that team is going to be celebrating at the starting line like crazy, because this is his first national event win unlike ever in the Pro Stock ranks. Congratulations to the 2025 Philly CheeseSteak Nationals winner. Well, let's take a look at the points. Wow! Let's take a look at them points, man, because he has got to be very ecstatic. And you know what that means after you get the win? You get the points lead. That's right. He's got 55 points on the table right now. Warren Johnson with 4-0 loss, 4 wins and 0 losses. Greg Anderson with 3-1 as a runner-up. How about that? Jeg Coughlin Jr. down to 12th. That rounds out the top 12. And now it's time to focus on Funny Car. And there's a look at the Funny Car ladder. Robert Height, this is how he got there. Robert Height took on the by-run round, Ashley Force and Bob Gilbertson. Steven Detcher was the number 5 qualifier, took on Tom Hoover, Dale Creasy Jr., and Ron Capps to get his way to the finals. Believe it or not, folks, Robert Height's been in this position before. The last time he was in the final and won it was not on this channel, but it was on Joe Donahue's YouTube channel at Indy Dragway in 2017, where he took the win over, I believe it was Ron Capps, Ron Capps in that final. Can he do it today against Steven Detcher? Steven took a bad lane. Let's see if he can pull off. Steven Detcher's been to a final before as a runner-up. Number 5 qualifiers. Here we go. Final pair of the day. And Steven Detcher smokes the tires, as it's going to be Robert Height going to the finish line first. Congratulations, getting his first career win on this channel. And boy, he's got to be very excited for the whole John Force Racing camp is going to be celebrating getting one of their cars into the points lead and as a race winner. And this is going to be 2 wins for that team. 2 wins. That's amazing. Your Philly CheeseSteak Nationals winner is going to celebrate big time. And here's a look at the points right now as Robert Heights, Steven Densham, Ron Capps, Dale Creasy Jr., Cruz, Pedgregon rounds out the top 5. And the top 12 is Dean Scusa, along with Gary Densham, John Force, that did not qualify. By the way, you see the minus on your right-hand side where 7th and 6th is. Those are for the penalty points. We'll explain more about that throughout the season, when the season goes on, when we head to the next race at Ford Dragway. Up next now is the final time of the Philly Cheesesteak Nationals is Top Fuel. And here's a look at Top Fuel finals as we begin now with Scott Coletta. There's how they got there. Scott Coletta took out Ashley Force and Eddie Hill and then went to the bye-run round. Then you have Clay Milliken, who's been strong so far, as the number 3 qualifier, took out Doug Coletta, Tony Schumacher, and Gary Selzy to make his way to the finals for his second career final in a row. And Scott Coletta's been in a final before, but as a runner-up. But that was at the 2023 Delaware East Coast Nationals, and where he got denied by Crystal Baldwin. But could he go towards his first win for the Coletta team? We'll find out as the burnouts begin for the final time here at Philadelphia. Number 1, number 3 qualifiers. Here we go. Oh, Clay Milliken's got cylinders out as it's going to be Scott Coletta going for his first win in the category. Congratulations to the American International Mac Tools team, as it's time to celebrate these 3 on the podium. And that's going to wrap it up here at Philadelphia Raceway Park at this beautiful place. Well, we hate to end it on a high note. But anyways, that wraps up the Philly Cheesesteak Nationals. We'll take one more final look at the points for Top Fuel. And here's a final look at the points as Scott Coletta, Clay Milliken will lead the points as like a sliver of a margin, and then you got David Baca Jr., Austin Prock, and it rounds out to Bob Vandergriff Jr. at the top 12 that get in. TJ Zizzle, Crystal Baldwin, Travis Shoemaker, and Melanie Troxel do not count. But anyway, folks, yeah, that wraps up. That's a wrap here in Philadelphia. We'll see you guys next time. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this new channel, NHRA Stop Motion Drag Racing Series YouTube channel. I'm Tristan Tobin. Alongside me is Fred Speed. Down the drags is Fred Speed. Thanks for watching. Next time out is 4 Dragway 4 wide nationals. I'll see you guys